New tonight, Channel 9 found out that just 3 days after Caylee Anthony was reported missing, a friend of Caylee Anthony told detectives to look near the spot where the remains were found.
Tonight, Channel 9's Andrea Conklin read through the transcripts of her interview with detectives, and she joins us now live to begin our team coverage. Andrea?
Well, Bob, deputies have gathered hundreds of tips in this investigation, but this one came from someone who knew Caylee well and who, as it turns out, had a pretty good hunch about where she might hide her daughter's body. 5 months before a meter reader ever stumbled onto the skeleton of a small child in these woods, we discovered one of Caylee Anthony's friends had warned deputies this is where they would find Caylee. Sheriff records show Caylee's childhood friend, Kia Marie Cruz, even met with the detective to show him a hiding spot behind Hidden Oaks Elementary School, where she and Caylee used to hang out as kids. In an interview transcript, she told the detective when she first learned Caylee had borrowed a shovel from her neighbors, things started to click in my head. First of all, there's tons and tons of shading. Not a lot of people know about the spot unless you're a teenager or a kid. Cruz, who once even considered adopting Caylee, said in middle school she and Caylee pretty much used to hang out there most of our time, to snack on food for hours and to get away from our parents. Orange County deputies and EquiSearch have said in the past flooding prevented them from searching this area. But Cruz's warning seems to closely echo Caylee's own hint to her brother about where to find her missing child.
Check things locally, Lee, in all honesty. Places that are familiar to us, to our family.
Well, Tropical Storm Faye flooded this area in August. Cruz's interview with the detective, though, happened in July. Now, we tried to find out if deputies took her warning seriously and how extensively they did search this area. We were told we could not get our answers until tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Orange County, Andrea Conklin, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The new evidence gathered in just the past few days could change prosecutors' minds about seeking the death penalty if Caylee Anthony is found guilty of killing her daughter. We continue our team coverage now with Channel 9's Kathy Belich.
The discovery of duct tape on the child's mouth alone could make prosecutors consider bringing a possible death sentence back to this case. If the remains are Caylee Marie Anthony's, and if investigators find out that the duct tape was stretched over her mouth before she was killed, prosecutors could view the murder as cruel and atrocious, and also as cold, calculated, and premeditated, both legal justifications for pursuing a death sentence. Prosecutors weigh those reasons, called aggravating circumstances in the law, and WFTV legal analyst William Schaefer says those two aggravating circumstances could add to others that could also be relevant, that the murder happened during aggravated child abuse, another charge Caylee's mother faces. Schaefer says prosecutors might also argue financial reasons were behind the murder, so Caylee would not have to support Caylee. There is evidence showing Caylee's mother was planning to kick her out of the house. And just this year, 2 new and relevant aggravators were added to the law, that the victim is younger than 12 and that the victim was particularly vulnerable because Caylee had authority over Caylee. The trial has been delayed until at least March, so there's no reason to rush into any decision about a possible sentence in this case. In Caylee Marie Anthony's neighborhood, Kathy Belich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Caylee remains in isolation at the Orange County Jail, but another stranger has mailed her some cash. A woman from Clawson, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit, sent $20 to Caylee's jail account.
Tonight, we've discovered the meter reader who found those remains will not be eligible for a $5,000 reward because he called 911 instead of Crime Line. The agency says people can only collect a reward if they call Crime Line first. Crime Line detectives say they just don't have enough money to pay for every tip that gets called into 911. Today, bounty hunter Leonard Padilla says he plans to write the meter reader a check if the remains belong to Caylee.
There's going to be a figure of between $5 and $10 grand involved easily. Nobody looks at a bag out here in these palmettos. They just walk on by it. But this man had the foresight to go over and do it.
Now, we're told the meter reader is still shaken about the discovery he made, and he does not want to talk to the media. Count on Channel 9 to bring you every development in the case against Caylee. To read the Anthony statement and listen to the full interview with their attorney, log on to WFTV.com.